Hello and welcome to a different style of video where I'm going to show you my thought process of making this abomination. I hope there's a picture of a map on a screen, because otherwise this is gonna be awkward. Alright, to get started, first things first, reference. We needed it. Bam! It's there. And it's way too big. So let's just looky here. So it's always nice to have some reference doing this stuff because the Rocket League field is really large. But now we need to make a stair. So let's create a stair. I'm going to make no back face so you can see through them. And we don't need that. And then, let's see. How many stairs do I want? It says how many things. I'm actually going to use hard ops. And I'm going to make this a modifier. So I can change that later. Alrighty, that's one nice looking stair. Now I need to make it the size of a ramp. Which I can make it the size of this ramp right here. Wow, that's one nice looking stair. Alright, now let's make this a lot of stairs. Like a lot of stairs. Like a lot of stairs. Like a lot of stairs. Let's see, do you think that this is a good amount of stairs? Because it's only about the height of 3 Rocket League fields, so it looks fine to me. Next step, mirror. Bam. It's been mirrored. So now whatever I do to one side will be done to the other side, which is going to be very handy because we are going to be adding a lot of stairs. And I can already see that it's not liking me moving this, so I can go into my bevel here. And I can turn this down to 3. And that's going to dramatically improve how many triangles we have up here. Alright, next step. Make the number of stairs the funny number. Not really needed, but you know, now it's the funny number. Next step, mirror the other side. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to apply the array. That's going to give us this. So I don't know how high I actually want this to be. But I'll figure that out soonish. So we're going to take this and rotate it by 45, and that did not work at all. Alright, next we're going to apply this bevel modifier, and so now we should hopefully be able to rotate this by 45 degrees, and that's not working because we're going to have to shear this. So we take the shear tool, we can move it like this, and just like that, it keeps the length of the edge the same but rotates it however you want. So that's exactly what we want right now. Now doesn't that look lovely like that? Oh my god, that is so many stairs. Alright, so what I did is I actually changed some offsets in the array. So we're going to have to apply the array now, and then we're going to merge by distance, and that didn't do anything, so we're gonna have to take a look-see here. Alright, so all these edges on the side here, we want these to meet. So we're going to make these equal, and then we're going to do that, and there they go. All right, so you see all these green speckles in here? That means that there's holes in our mesh, so we can actually fix that by going to merge by distance and changing that to 0.01. And there we go. Now we got no speckly stairs. Now we're going to take this, I'm going to move it this way, and now we have an arena of just stairs, but we're not done yet. So this is going to be a little bigger than a Rocket League field, as you can see in the middle, which is fine, but we're going to also need to put the goal in right now before I actually do anything with these corners. So let's do that. First step is we need goal reference. Bam! There we go. Now we have our goal reference, and you can actually find this from the tutorial series, which I've done. But it shows you how to do map stuff. So I actually want to change this goal right here, because if you actually look inside this goal, do you see that? Those are smooth edges, and we don't want that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a cursor here, and then we're going to create a cube, and we're going to create a stair again, but this time it's going to be a little different because we are now going to make a top part here with stairs. And there's actually a simple way to do this in Blender. I can take this and just select all of this. All of it. I can actually take this and select all of it, and then I can go over here, and there's a modifier. So there's a modifier called remesh where you can actually tell it to change this into cube form, which is exactly what we're going to do to make this a lot simpler on ourselves. I don't know what's going on here in the front. Well, on the inside, you can see that we have a stairway to hell. Now, the weird thing about this modifier, it's always going to try and close itself up. So right here, you can see that these edges aren't actually connected to anything. So we can do that easily. So it's going to try and calculate what should be there and what shouldn't. But we're actually going to connect these, because if you connect them, it gives you a smooth block, which is exactly what we want. We don't want anything on here. Now, isn't that a good looking blocking bolt? Isn't that a good looking isn't that a good looking blocky ball, blocky goal? Now, doesn't that look like a so doesn't that look like a good blocky goal right there? So now I am going to make this more blocky, because you see this, that's a flat edge and we can't have that. So I'm actually going to just take this and I'm going to select here to here, all the way up to the top. And I'm just going to make this a indentation for no reason, so that way you can't actually go up there smoothly. And actually, see, I missed, so to redo that again. All right, now we have random indentations in the back for absolutely no reason, so you can't just go waltzing up there anymore. And you actually see this right here. These are smooth walls, and we can't have that, so we're actually going to do the same exact thing. Now, doesn't that look like it has a bunch of unnecessary ridges for absolutely no reason? It sure does to me. But you're like, Shark, you only did one side, you idiot. And to that I have to say, why are you being so mean? But also, we can just hit this button and now it's mirrored. So yeah, take that, random person who was probably complaining and writing a very nice comment about how I was being dumb and was having to do everything twice. Now, another thing I did is I'm going to delete this floor, and I'm actually going to add a few more unnecessary flat things here. For this, I'm actually going to do more of a checker pattern. I don't know if you remember an old map called Lego, but that's basically how I'm going to make the roof of this goal. It doesn't look like a great roof to not drive on. Alrighty, so now we have an unplayable goal, so you can't even sit in this thing if you wanted to. Now what do we do with it? Well, now we sink it in to the stairs, and now we have to cut a hole in the stairs, which should be pretty simple. Should be. So what we can do is we actually want this top edge to be as far in as we possibly can, which is about there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a loop cut and make that loop cut flat, because it's going to angle it. So we can put that right there. So what we can do is we can take this face through this face, and we can just delete all of that. And now we have a goal back there, kind of. And now I want to take this face, I want to move it up barely. Alrighty, now that we have a goal in there, now I just need to make it a wall right there, which I can do so by just putting a flat extension of the stairs. And there we go. We have our beautiful goal, and immense the wall and wall of stairs. So here's what I was thinking, right? So I'm going to duplicate this goal. All right, so we've seen this field, and we know how it's almost 3 entire field legs long. But what if it was like the max size of a map, that because the stairs went up? Because if you look at our try count, we're actually doing really well right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a cube and scale by 325, and that's going to give us the rough max limits. Now that I have the max bounds of the map, usually I would be able to just go in here and tick up the array, but I've already applied all that stuff. So now we're gonna have to go in here, select all of these faces in wireframe, and then we're gonna duplicate them, and we're gonna put them on top like so. And just like that, we have more stairs, and now we're up to almost 7 fields high. Okay, no sense of stopping now. Now, doesn't that look like a glorious Rocket League field? It's only about 12 fields high, and there's so many stairs, but it's still about a fourth of Manfield, maybe a third. I don't know math. Now we get to make the decision of how curvy we want our edges to be. Now you can see in the top left, you can see our try count, which I'll try and zoom in on, and if I didn't, then I'm too lazy to edit. And you can see that there's the goal circle right there, so I kind of want everything to funnel right there. I think that looks pretty good. Sure. Oh my, this is going to be absolute hell. And so you see our try count jumped up to about 199,000. That's fine. Manfield is about 200 50,000, so that's a good benchmark to keep. Okay, so next thing I want to do is I want to make the floor. Now, you would think the floor would be flat, right? Well, that wouldn't be fun now, would it? So what we're going to do is we're going to take a cube. We're going to expand it across. We're going to take our same bevel, and we're going to put it right here, which is 3. We can make the floor more. Yeah, 5 segments. Make it that big, sure. And then we're going to take this, we're going to rotate it by 45 degrees. You might see where this is going. And then I actually don't like how big this is, so I'm going to take that. All right, I actually made this a sharp edge because I think it's going to be much more interesting, if you want to put it that way. All right, so let's make that bigger, long ways, smaller, that a ways. So we took our stair and put it down. Now we're going to make a whole lot of them, just like that. So now, doesn't that look like a perfectly stair floor? I know you can't see it and it's just a white image, but can't you see it? Now that is a great stair floor right there. And this is, I don't care if it clips through. I really don't, because I just don't. Now in the middle of this field we actually have a thick stair because I can't get the mirror to work right, but also because it's good enough. Now I actually see there is a little bit of oh, there we go. No more nice stair. Alrighty, so that's one good looking stair map. It's such a good stair map that the pixels don't even know how to figure out what's white and what's black. Now we're on the texturing, and I was supposed to do this at the beginning before I duplicated everything like thousands of times, but I actually forgot. So instead, we're going to make everything probably one texture and call it a day. Let's just make that 25. Sure, that looks fine to me. Yep, looks beautiful. And this goal is already fine. I'm just probably going to make it a solid color, so it's fine. Alright, so one thing I want to do now before I forget is these normals are actually weird. So right now we're looking at it how the car would see the camera, or through how the camera sees everything. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to delete a bunch of these things in the back that we can see that you won't be able to see on this side. So you can see on this side that it still looks full, but on this side we want it to be, we want to basically make it completely invisible. Now that we have a beautiful stair map, we need to export it. Now this is going to be rough in this because first thing I'm going to do is right now we have this as a mirror. So if I want to make any changes to this for any reason later, I want to create this as a copy. So I'm going to archive it just by duplicating it, copying it. And this is going to be walls / ramps / stairs. And then this is going to be stair goal. And this is going to be stair floor. All right, now one thing we actually do need to do is we need to add a roof. Now the roof is going to be like that. So you can see here that didn't actually work out that well, but that's fine. We're going to take this, I'm going to extrude it, scale it, and then we're going to put that to the center. And then we'll select that center dot, just like that. All right, now we have a beautiful roof. Now, why do we even need a roof? Well, as you can see, the roof doesn't do much. It is actually going to be a flat surface, sadly. But the thing with the roof is we do need it because otherwise you'll be able to fly out of the map. And if you can fly out of the map, you can also break the boundaries, which we don't want you to be able to do. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to unwrap. I'm going to select this part. And I'm actually going to use a tool called UV squares. And now I'm going to make this that big. I don't know, looks fine to me. I'm going to take the roof. And I'm going to scale it up until it looks good. Which it looks like it's actually off, so let me do a cube projection on this part instead. There we go. Now that roof, that looks pretty good there. And the other part, it doesn't really matter. You shouldn't ever see it, but it's there. Now, what do we want to do now? Well, now it's time to export. Well, first we need to double check our normals. Yep, that's good. And now we need to export everything, so let me just make this non-stair roof. All right, so this roof, one thing to keep in mind when you export to UDK is you have to keep it under 65k tries. And if you hit backslash or forward slash, if you hit forward slash, it actually isolates it, and it isolates that one object in all of its properties. So I can actually just see it has 320 like that. So I can go into here and do I'm just gonna name it roof because these don't need to be called stair something. It's just easier. Now, this one is going to be rough because this is in total 145,000 tries. So I'm going to export this in 4 parts. All right, perfect. And then that 4th one is just left there. So now we're going to select this and we're going to export these as walls. And it's going to take me a sec. Okay, there it goes. And now we make floor. And now we make go wow. All right, so I've gone ahead and created the project right here. I always use the stock art template because it has the goals already set up. And it's just nice sometimes. So now we're going to import everything. All right, everything's been imported and we're looking good. I need to make that roof, just recenter. Yep, by resetting that to default. All right, now that is a beautiful looking set of stairs. Now, I don't actually like this team color stuff, so I'm gonna remove it. I am not a fan of the blue and orange sided colors, but it's fine. So here we go. Now all I have to do is move this goal right into here. So since the goal is actually in here, this is going to be very easy. I can just move this and make sure it's lined up with top and bottom. Yeah. All right, and that looks good. All right, there we go. Glorious stair masterpiece. Now, since because of the way I am, we're going to put these spawns all the way up there for absolutely no reason. So let's do that. First of all, if you get a demo on this map, congrats to you. But also, I want to make sure you get to take a long journey to think about what you've done. So we're going to put the spawns just up here. And these are actually big enough for a car to land on, like the other stairs. So this is going to be even more annoying. All right, now this spawn will need to go all the way up here at the top. So let's do that. There we go. That is beautiful right there. Now, what if I actually made you spawn on the wrong side as well? So what if I put this spawn, so blue actually spawns on orange side, and the other way around? Let's do that for both of them. All right, next thing we need to do is we need to give these collision. First thing I'm going to do is put my snapping really high. Sometimes when you select things, UDK decides it wants to move them. So just make sure my snapping is on, and it is. So we're going to select all of these, and then select a few checkboxes. Wow, that was hard. Okay, now we have to go into here and go into here and make sure that every single stair is going to have individual collision. And the reason we're doing this is to bring pain to other people. And when I say pain, I mean mental pain. I'm playing mental warfare, not physical warfare. If someone actually fought me in real life, I'd probably lose. All right, so I gave everything a basic texture just so we can see what it looks like in game. But first, I need to add a skybox to make it look a little nicer. And now we have a sky, and we need to make sure it's big enough, which it's almost not. I'm gonna actually make it bigger. And then at the bottom of it, you're going to be able to look down. So I want to add something called exponential height fog, which is really easy. Just it's a drag and drop, and now we can show the fog, and there we go. Now we have fog. That was crazy. Now we should be ready to go in game. All right, we're in game. I'm gonna set the boost amount to unlimited, and let's see how this goes. Oh my, I already hate the solid texture. Wow, we are really high up. Great kickoff, by the way. It takes so long to get down there. Like, I think it's actually going to take like a good 5 seconds just to get to the ball. So I did actually stall the top, but it took about 13 seconds to get to the ball. And this is the most unplayable thing I think I've ever played on. And I think I like it. Now, let's go work our way over to the goal. And inside the goal, I just want to see if we can drive on it at all. And the answer is no. And that is fantastic. That's exactly the answer I wanted. And this solid color, I kind of like it because of how low effort it is. So I might actually keep it. All right, I got to score. So I got to make sure. I know he spawned on the wrong side. I saw it at the beginning. So now I just need to make sure I go into the goal. Oh. I'm almost scoring. Oh. I'm scoring. Oh my god, this kickoff. Alright, so actually timing it this time, it took 18 seconds to reach the ball. Because we started at 25 and then you add 3 because the timer doesn't start until someone touches the ball. But there's no way anyone's touching the ball in 3 seconds here. If you get into overtime, or if you get into like a 1 second goal, you're not even gonna be able to score because of how long it takes to get to the kickoff. So one thing I do want to do, I think, is I do want to cut the floor so it looks clean. I'm going to try and diversify the stairs, and I'm also going to flip the spawns in UDK real quick. Now for these stairs, I did actually save a copy where it was only this one corner before I mirrored it, so this should be pretty simple. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select this top one and pick normal, and I'm gonna hope that picks every single top face. I'm gonna do the same thing right here. Perfect. And then I'm gonna do the same thing right here. I don't know if that worked at all, but next thing I want to do is I want to pick this one, and I want to pick this one, and same thing over here. I would like to pick this one, and I'd like to pick that one. 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 I'd like to pick that one and that one. So you might notice I did some changes. First of all, this is now two-toned, so you can actually see where the ramp is and where the back is. I don't know if I like these hexagons. They look okay, but the UV is a little weird, so I'm gonna have to touch that up. And the floor is now concealed or confined or cut to be just around where it needs to be, which so it looks clean now. And the kickoff still takes a good 10 seconds to get there. Here, I won't cut it this time. I'll show you a full kickoff. Man, wasn't that thrilling? If you actually stared down the middle, I actually got like super tunnel vision doing that, so I might actually keep the black. I don't know why it did that, but it did kind of like, it felt like tunnel vision. All right, and that is how you make a stair abomination in Rocket League. I did make a few more changes just to spruce it up a little bit, but nothing too big that I didn't talk about, I think. I don't know, I haven't been paying attention. There's the ball down there. But I hope you enjoyed. This is something I wanted to try for a while, so I hope it turned out good, and I'll see you.